Hi guys, and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron, and welcome back today to another video. It is the weekly news roundup video, the show where we sit down and we talk about all of the latest Everton news from the last 7 days or so. A little bit of news to talk about today, including an injury update. Carlo Ancelotti has come out today in his pre-game press conference prior to the Merseyside derby at Goodison Park tomorrow against Liverpool, and confirmed that everybody that returned from international duty is fit and available and in contention of playing tomorrow, including Luca Dean, who picked up a little bit of a knock in France's game during the week, and Yerry Mina, who of course missed Colombia's last fixture due to a slight injury. He said that both of those players are fit and ready to play along with everybody else. Carlo Ancelotti also confirmed earlier in the week that Alan, Andre Gomez and Seamus Coleman are all fit and in contention of playing as well. He did mention Yerry Mina on that occasion, but of course that was before Yerry Mina had returned from international duty, and since he's returned, Carlo has said that he has played today, he's trained today, and he is ready for tomorrow's fixture. So fantastic news. I think this was something that sort of played on a lot of our minds, certainly during the international break, and given the good run of form we're on, and given the fact that it's a Merseyside derby against Liverpool tomorrow, I think we all sort of felt a little bit pressured about, with injuries and whether players are going to be fit or not. In terms of fitness, Carlo basically come out and said, look, we're going to have to wait and see tomorrow in the game as to whether these players are fit and ready to play 90 minutes, but none of them have got injuries and they're all ready to go in from the off, which is fantastic news. On that international duty and international break, then of course Luca Dean played for France midweek in that game where he picked up a slight injury. He also put in an absolutely unbelievable ball for Mbappe. It was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it yet, I really suggest going and watching it. It's an unbelievable ball by Paul Pogba, to be fair, and Luca Dean crosses it in first time on his left foot, and he just puts it right in the path of Mbappe, who finishes it. James Rodriguez played in Colombia's 2-2 draw as well midweek. He played the 90 minutes and come out of it with no injuries, and Richarlison scored for Brazil as well as of course Dominic Calvert-Lewin coming off the bench a couple of times for England. Jordan Pickford as well played in a couple of games, and Michael Keane, who actually wasn't involved in any capacity in either of England's last two international fixtures. However, Carlo Ancelotti didn't mention him today, didn't come out and say there's any injury, so maybe that was just a preference by Gareth Southgate. A little bit of an update on outgoing transfers today. It is the 16th of October, which means it is the EFL transfer deadline day. Of course, we know the transfer deadline day between Premier League clubs and European clubs was last week, but this week and today specifically is the deadline day for clubs to be able to purchase and players and sell players to clubs in the Championship and League One and League Two, etc. That deadline is now passed. It was at 5 o'clock. Everton have confirmed that Callum Connolly has left on a season-long loan and joined Fleetwood Town for the remainder of the season. So big good luck to Callum Connolly. He of course joins Joey Barton's Fleetwood, who Everton played a couple of weeks ago in the Carabao Cup and made quite a decent account of themselves. To be honest with you, look a decent, little smart side. So Callum Connolly will be spending the year there. And according to Pete O'Rourke, it looks like Yannick Bolasie may be signing for Middlesbrough as well. It was initially a permanent deal, I believe. However, there was a bit of complication regarding the fee, so it may now be only an initial loan deal. Yannick Bolasie, I don't believe, would need to complete a medical if he signed on loan. Middlesbrough apparently are increasingly confident that they can get that one over the line. So we'll have to see. Look, of course, the deadline is passed, but we know how they mix these things and they make them sound like, as long as the paperwork's in by a certain time, a deal can go over the deadline and all of that sort of stuff. So from what we know from the EFL deadline day is that Everton have confirmed that Callum Connolly has left the football club on a season-long loan. The only bit of business revolving Everton Football Club today. Yannick Bolasie still may go out, of course. Mo Besic is still at Everton Football Club. Matty Pennington is still at Everton Football Club. And they don't look like they'll be moving anytime soon either. A couple of birthdays to mention today. Everton legend Graham Sharp is 60 today. A big happy birthday to Graham Sharp, of course, famously scored that unbelievable goal at Anfield against Liverpool, and such a perfect time to have a birthday as well, the day before a Merseyside derby after scoring such a world-class goal. Some people to this day still argue that is the best Merseyside derby goal they have ever seen, and considering it was at Anfield and in front of a load of Copites, it just makes it even sweeter. Of course, he wasn't just known for that, he was an absolute Everton legend, won a number of trophies with the football club and was a brilliant forward during the 80s. It is also David Unsworth's birthday today, so massive happy birthday to David Unsworth. Come through the Everton Academy, of course, very successful player for Everton Football Club, since has gone on to become the manager of the under-23s, won the league multiple times as the manager, and is now the academy director, or director of the academy, however you want to call it. So big happy birthday to both David Unsworth and Graham Sharp, of course. Carlo Ancelotti come out with an update earlier this week regarding the fitness of Jean-Philippe Gbamin. Now, this was actually after the Echo published an article a couple of days before saying that Jean-Philippe Gbamin could be out until 2021. And I remember reading the article and thinking, look, I'm not surprised here. I don't know if we'll ever see Jean-Philippe Gbamin playing football for Everton ever again. But it baffled me a little bit when Carlo Ancelotti come out and spoke about him, because I did think, well, why have the Echo been given that information? And Carlo Ancelotti, of course, who is the manager of the football club, has got completely different information. So Carlo Ancelotti come out and said that he expects Jean-Philippe Gbamin, if he continues going in the way that he is, to be fit and ready to play games in November. He said by the end of November he expects him to be fit, game fit, and ready to start footballing games. He said he's due back in Finch Farm within the next 2 weeks. He'll start by training individually, and then he will train with the rest of the team with an expected return date of the middle towards the back end of November. The reporter, the journalist, I think it was for Everton TV actually, I think it was the reporter for EvertonFC.com, actually sounded quite shocked when Carlo Ancelotti said that he could be back by November. I think he thought he meant that he'd be back in training by November, but Carlo said no, if he continues in the way he's going. Like he said, he's been training individually on his own. He's due back at Finch Farm within the next 15 days. He actually said, so it was quite a specific date. This was a couple of days ago that Carlo Ancelotti gave the interview. He said that he could be back and ready to play football games by the end of November, which of course is massive luck. He hasn't had the greatest start to his Everton career. There was a little video that he put up on social media yesterday, or his PT put up, of him training, and he looks like an absolute beast. I'm looking forward to seeing Jean-Philippe Gbamin playing for Everton. I can't believe that we signed him, over a year ago, and we still haven't seen him play. But it is what it is, isn't it? I suppose when you bring in a player and they continuously have injury after injury after injury and knockback after knockback, it must be absolutely frustrating for him as well. So hopefully he doesn't have any more knockbacks. Hopefully when he gets into Finch Farm he can regain that fitness and stay at that level, and then of course be part of Carlo Ancelotti's team for the remainder of the Premier League season, probably towards Christmas time, I would assume, in regards to him getting match fitness and all of that sort of stuff. Shani Tarashaj returned to Everton Football Club this week, which was absolutely bonkers because I didn't think he was even still contracted to the football club, but apparently he was on loan at FC Emmen, I believe, and he returned to Everton because they cut their loan deal short. Everton very soon after terminated his contract, I believe. I don't think they wanted him on the wage book. I don't think he was worth the payment. So he returned to Everton early hours of the day, and he'd left Everton become the end of the day. But it is a little bit of news. It's a bit of information from this week. And the last bit of information is the referees for the upcoming Merseyside derby tomorrow afternoon at Goodison Park have been announced. Michael Oliver will referee the game on field, and David Cotty will be the VAR official. Don't know much about David Cotty, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I can't really remember him refereeing at Goodison Park as an on-field referee. I also can't really remember him making any rash decisions. Michael Oliver, on the other hand, I'm a little bit hit and miss with Michael Oliver. There's a lot worse referees that we could have been given, and there's a lot more biased referees that we could have been given. One thing I'd say about Michael Oliver, he's not afraid to give a decision against a side like Liverpool. He's not afraid to control a game of football in that way. So it's not great because he has done us over multiple times, and he has proven, on occasion, that sometimes he just doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing, but he's also nowhere near as bad as some of the referees that we could have got. I mean, you look at Lee Mason, for example, or there's plenty. I'm not going to sit here and go into them. There's plenty of referees in this league. Not Clattenburg, he's left, hasn't he? Who's the other one that I'm thinking of? Martin Atkinson. There's plenty of referees in the Premier League that we could have got that would have be much worse for Everton tomorrow than Michael Oliver. So we'll have to see how that one goes, of course. Anyway, that is the weekly news roundup for today. Not an awful lot of news, but little bit of news here and there to discuss. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you're new to the channel as well, don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back with the instant match reaction and the player ratings to the Merseyside derby. Hopefully it's a positive one. Hopefully we're sitting here screaming and shouting about an Everton win in the derby. Let's hope so anyway. Fingers crossed. We'll be back with that content tomorrow. A big thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new as well. And we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.